What's going on, y'all? Connor from Rock Pokemon here, coming at you with another CGC trading card submission return. So super stoked. 42 cards. We're gonna break this up into two parts. So give you guys some of the duds and then kind of progress up the grading scale on the vintage side for non-hollows. A bunch of cool vintage non-hollow vending and other cards, and then tease you with a little bit of modern. And then in part two, which you guys will have to wait for, we will get to some more of my favorite vintage non-hollows, and then a couple more modern cards, and then a bunch of spicy vintage hollows. So look forward to that. So part one, we're going to focus on this stack over here. We got 42 cards in total, so we'll do about 20 to 22 in each. I also have another 3-card submission that just came back today that I will show y'all. Hopefully another 7 coming back soon. And then I've got a myriad of other cards out there. I mean, 100, 200, whatever, everywhere. So really excited though. So let's get it started off. This one's an interesting one to start off with. So the vending sheets, the cards that you peel off of the 4-card vending sheets, series 1, 2, and 3 from Japan, are a big favorite of mine. I really enjoyed the peeling process, getting to procure those sheets. And there it is. So that's a little foreshadowing. I don't know if y'all can see, but there's something going on right there on that right-hand side. So this is my biggest dud ever grading, this card right here. And it is a 5.5 slow bro. So this is from Vending Series 3, which featured the 4th card having this back in the top right corner, if some of you all recognize the sheets. So I thought this was a really great artwork, peeled it myself. So as you can see, centering got an 8.5, which is, you know, understandable. It's really high. Corners got a 9, edges got an 8.5, but surface got a 4.5. And I was trying to figure out if I missed a corner. When I peeled it, something happened, and it seems that right here, there is, I bet you it's actually water damage or something like that that occurred because they're on the sheets with the backs facing up. So depending how you store the sheets, or if they get in humidity or something happens, maybe a little water got under, but you can definitely see, and this is why, guys, my lighting's atrocious for videos when you're looking at me, but it can be really good for grading. I did miss that. There's a huge crease right there. So that's hilarious. Good reminder that you can't be perfect. I think this is the first time I've ever gotten anything below an 8.5. So if I recall, but really cool card from the front. So we'll just maybe crack it out of there and throw it in a sleeve. I don't know, but pretty wild. You got to be really careful. I don't know how I missed that. I don't know what happened there, but at any rate, a cool card from the front, a really nice Nishida artwork, really beautiful art box. So that's Slowbro from Vending Series 3. Next up, we have, so this was my other mistake of the batch. This card I pulled myself. It's Blanks Chansey from Japanese Gym 2. You will see some of the hollows and non-hollows in part 2 that I pulled, but I wanted to show you this now because it is the other dud. As you can see, gorgeous artwork by my favorite artist, Hameno. Take a look at the back. The back looks very nice. Does not seem to have any issues that we can really see easily. But we go to the front, and it seems, y'all can see down there, it almost looks like the card was like shifted when it was in the pack, and it somehow got these crimps on the edges. You can see right there, up there, and right there down there. This one I remember there being an issue with, but I was so excited to pull it because you rarely see it pulled. But it got a 7.5. This one I will keep like this. Like, this is, I love this artwork. Like, I think this card looks great. I don't really care what the grade is on it. I'm really stoked to have it and know I pulled it. It's one of my favorites. You know, maybe I'll get a 9 or a 10 someday, but this is just a really fun one to have. Hilariously off center, so I got the 8.5 there. 8.5 on corners, which probably plays into a bit of that surface issue, and then, you know, edges got a 9 for what it's worth. But my understanding is you can really only get one full grade above your lowest subgrade. So the 4.5 got the 5.5, the 6.5 on surface got the 7.5. So 2 hilarious grades, but this one I don't really care about. This one I was a little bummed about. I was hoping I could swing something higher than that, but that flaw is a bit of an issue there. That kind of like edge crease there, or surface crease on the border. So I think there's one over there too. So at any rate, really neat card, but those are the 2 duds. So we'll start working our way up the scale, and we have Giovannis Pincer, the non-holo rare from Japanese Gym Challenge. Really, really neat artwork, a Sugimori classic. I really like this one. Some of these were on the border for me. Didn't know if I should grade them. Didn't know what would happen. They were super fun to pull. Some of my favorite arts I pulled out. This was one of the lower grades of the return as well, and we got ourselves an 8.5. So you see centering got an 8.5, which is understandable. This is a big shift here, almost cockeyed really in the box here, because it's like shifted like that. Surface got a 9, which is nice on a vintage. 8.5 on corners, which I'm gonna double check here. I haven't thoroughly inspected all of these yet, nor have I double checked all the labels. As you will see, I did find 1 label error, but yeah, at any rate, 8.5, it's not what you want to see. You really want to see 9s out of these, non-holos, like kind of easy layups, but it happens. Can't complain. It's a cool artwork. So, but a lower grade nonetheless. Next up, we have, I believe this is a vending card, I believe. Yes, the good old Poliwhirl from Vending Series 1. Peeled this myself. Another really great Nishida watercolor artwork. Excuse me. As you can see, we got the 8.5 on this as well. So 8.5 on centering, I can see that. It's not as bad as some of the other 8.5s, which is interesting. Corners and edges got a 9, but surface got an 8.5. So it's hard with these glossy ones. What happens a lot is the back, because they're here on the sheet and you peel them, the back can exhibit scratches from just being stored poorly over time. So this one I'll have to take a closer look at, but I'm sure there's a scratch on the back here somewhere, or maybe a little, oh yeah, maybe there's a scratch right there on the left. The front looks nice. That's the thing with these glossy vending cards. They have that interesting, pocketed textured, almost looks like, I don't know, like pockmarked skin. Almost. It's a very interesting texture when you get down to looking at it. Super glossy, as you can see. So tough surfaces to grade sometimes. So got the 8.5. That's just all right. So cool artwork nonetheless. Thought that was a fun one on the sheet, so I went ahead and subbed it. Promise we're starting with the lower grades, and then we're going to heat up. So next we have another favorite from Japanese Gym Challenge, the non-holo rare Rocket Snorlax. I think this artwork by Yoshida is so funny. It's like he had a drunken party the night before and is just passed out. More than likely he just overate, as you can see all the snacks and soda littered everywhere for Snorlax. This got the 8.5 as well. We got almost sequential 8.5s across the board. Centering I can see, I suppose. Surface, again, we'll have to take a much closer look. Corners, there's an issue up here for sure, and there, and then edges a 9. So I'll have to take a look at the back as well, see if there's maybe some surface issue there. I mean, 8.5 is pretty much standard for surface on vintage with the CGC, but that's generally for hollows, so I do expect some of the non-hollows to easily get the 9. but you know, there's evidently some surface, you know, condition issue here, but really cool artwork. Love this card, Rocket's Snorlax. Just a couple more in the low grade pile. Actually, no, that's, I think that's it for anything kind of on the lower end for now. So, fun story about this. So this is the Southern Islands Pidgeot. I got this trio set, so Pidgeot, Onyx, and Mew, for free because it was supposed to be sealed. It came to me not sealed, and I told the Japanese seller such, and they said, keep it and we will refund you. So I said, heck, I'm going to sub these free cards I've had lying around. So I decided to open up the sheet, send them in, got the 9, 8.5 on centering, 9s across the board on the rest. Pretty stoked about that. Again, one of my favorite sets in all of Pokemon. So then we, of course, sub the Onyx as well, which goes right here next to it. Got the 9 there as well, same subgrades. So really cool pair. And y'all will have to stick around for part 2 to see how the Mew did. So Pidgeot and Onyx from Japanese Southern Islands. Amazing set. I mean, look at the Dragonite in the background. I mean, these artworks are just phenomenal. They're just, it's hard to describe how good these are. So one of my favorite sets of all time. Probably my favorite set. So easy to complete too, being an 18 card set and a lot of supply out there. Just wicked hard to grade those hollows in a 9 or above because they're reverses. So last card in that pile is, oh, fun story about this. Actually, when I bought some of those vending sheets, I got this Cleffa Corocoro promo, which again is a, like a vending sheet, is glossy and is peeled, but it comes on a single card sheet in the Corocoro magazine or comic book, as they call it, the Corocoro comic. So this is from 2000 and we got the 9. It's just funny because this was just a freebie thrown in. And I was like, know what? This card's pretty darn immaculate. I had wanted to get a sheet and peel it myself, but heck, I got this card for free, sent it in. This is one I will definitely keep. Sugimori Classic. I love the baby Pokemon. I think they're super fun. So this is a great pair with my Togepi collection because they're both like cute, fun little Pokemon. So super stoked about that because literally this is just a free card I YOLO'd in. All of these cards cost me $20 each to grade. So at this point in the market, definitely just breaking even on a lot of these. But for me, it's more about the experience and the fun and the learning process of grading, and definitely came out on top on a lot of them. So 9 on the Cleffa, super stoked about that, keeping that one in my collection. Next up, we have a Vending Series 3 with the most amazing back. I just like cannot get enough. It's like every Pokemon in its classic form on the back, like the classic Pikachu, like these are just absolutely phenomenal. Like they just remind me of the complete origins, you know, Sugimori origins of Pokemon. So absolutely amazing. Can't say enough about how cool the backs of these are. And the front of this one, again, this is another card I got for free with I'll show y'all. I think it was when I bought this. I bought it from Mercari, not this one, a sealed deck box. Same Pikachu artwork, as you can see, that classic artwork. So it was a cool pair to get. And he just sent me the card for free, and I was like, dang, this one looks really good. It was either free or I did a bundle, but basically I paid for what I would have paid for the deck box. I forget. Let's see what I got it marked as. Yeah, free with deck boxes. So this is Imakuni's Lose. So as y'all know, Imakuni, an iconic, eccentric artist from the Pokemon TCG. And I really like this one because of the quote on the front. And what it says is, I believe, how it's translated is, even if you lost, is it really so bad? So funny looking card for sure, but I like the quote. It kind of resonates with me on a lot of levels, and got sequential nines across, or yeah, all nines across the board. So that's always cool to see aesthetically. I have no idea. I mean, I've seen a lot of examples of this. I feel like you have to just judge the centering from the back. I also always worry because of the gloss and the way these are peeled, it seems like the corners are lit sometimes, but it's more of just an optical illusion. Excuse me. So stoked about that. Hit the 9. I'll probably let this one go. It is a cool one, and I don't know which of these I'm going to sell and which of these I'm going to keep yet, but it's a really cool one. The back's amazing, but I don't know. You can't keep everything, so we'll see. I got to remember how many more of these backs I have, because I would just like to display it like this because it's so cool. So next up, I think another vending card here. Yes, vending Abra. Actually, nope. Okay. Vending Abra. There are 2 of these in here. I'm just not sure where the other one is. Got the 9 on this bad boy. 8.5 on surface. Pretty par for the course with CGC, especially on these vending cards as we've seen. 9s on the rest of it. This is that Kasube artwork that's just absolutely a stunner. Love Psychic Pokemon. Grew up on it. Purple was my favorite color as a kid. So just a beautiful, I think really iconic Abra artwork. Just sleeping in that tree. It's one that, you know, a lot of people just seem to love. So really cool. Really cool vending card. That's from Vending Series 1. Next up, we have another vending card, I believe from Series 2. It is the, oh no, this is from 1. The Snorlax. So it's a almost a crude, hand-drawn, childlike looking illustration. Pretty neat though, iconic Pokemon. Again, coming home with the 9. Got the 9 on surface, corners, and edges, which is nice to see. And just a little bit, you know, off center, left to right there, getting the 8.5. So almost sequentials on that. Another really, really neat card. Love colors, Pokemon. Snorlax, a cool Pokemon. So another Vending Series card that I've always enjoyed. Okay, this one is, I'm trying to remember which one this is because it's the other one from 3. This is 3v3 Dugtrio. Yes. So 3v3 Dugtrio team battle, or the extra rule card. So it's a trainer card. Came on, I forget, was this sheet free? Is that why I graded some of these? I'm trying to remember. Either that or I got it really cheap. I forget, but so that was a cool card to grade, mostly because of the back. Just because this is one where it's like perfect to display from the back because no one cares that much about the front, but hit the 9 on it regardless. Again, 8.5 on centering, 9 across the board. Just stoked to have another one where you can show off this amazing back artwork of like some of the most classic iconic Pokemon in history. So probably might sell the Imakuni's Lose because it's more sought after, and maybe keep this one and display it backwards. So have to figure that out. No rush. All right, the Hitman Chan from Vending Series 2. Pretty cool one. Artist I rarely see. I don't know as much of the history of that artist, but again, got the 9 here with sequential 9s across the board. So very stoked about that. It's always nice to see all the 9s across the board. It just aesthetically looks really cool. Again, peeled this one myself. All but one of these vending cards I peeled myself. I will tell y'all which one it is, but feel pretty good about a lot of these. You know, a lot of them I had, you maybe a touch lower, maybe, you know, I had all of them between 8.5 and 9.5. So really hard to swing those 9.5s on the vintage WotC era or Japanese WotC era. Crazy, you know, these have been sitting on a sheet for, you know, 25 to 30 years, you know, 1998. So it's like, holy cats, like, how do you be unhappy with a 9 on that? So another really cool artwork. Few more vending cards in here, I believe. I think coming up is one of my favorites. Yes, true, one of my favorites. got a 9 on the Porygon from Series 1. So another awesome artwork, really cool. I like how he's like in the city, just like hanging out. It's very interesting artwork and scene. Colorless Pokemon are some of my favorite, and hit the 9 on that. So another one I peeled myself. Basically, my strategy was buying specific sheets with cards I really liked or cards I thought were valuable, and then peeling them and submitting them. So there's the other Abra, like we talked about, got the 8.5 on centering there, 9 across. So this one was a flip-flop of the last one. Last one was 9 on centering, 8.5 on surface. This one is 8.5 on centering, 9 on surface. So pretty cool to see. Love this card. Off center doesn't really bother me, so pretty stoked about that one. All right, y'all. Man, talking this much sometimes is tiring. I was so jacked up to go through this on my own for the first time, though, and I'm grading is so fun, y'all. I really hope y'all all get the opportunity to do some grading yourself. So next up we have, oh yeah, a Hameno Classic, an absolutely beautiful Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta from Vending Series 1, 1998 Japanese sheet. This is a beautiful artwork. I mean, I just find it really, really neat. So again, that's how I pick some of these, because you can know each sheet has a number. That number will dictate, you know, what's going to be on that sheet. So was able to hit the 9 with 9s all across on this as well. Pretty stoked about that. Hameno is my favorite artist, so I'd love to collect cards by her, especially in slabs. And when I can grade it myself and get that kind of satisfaction and have that cool experience, that's a fun one to hang on to. So funny little one of him sitting on the side of the road outside that village eating a block of cheese. So really, really beautiful illustration. Next up, we have, oh yeah, okay. So this is one where I was never able to get my hands on the sheet that I wanted in the right condition. So I went ahead and bought the card as a single. I remember that specifically, and I take pretty good notes on all my purchases. So remember getting that for a few bucks off eBay and was able to hit the 9. So again, that 8.5 on centering, a lot of these are shifted. You know, you see that a lot when you peel these vending cards, but otherwise 9s across the board on surface, corners, and edges. And this Nishida artwork is a really, really cool one. I think you just kind of capture some of those clouds in the background. It's just beautiful. So Lapras, one of my top Pokemon, top favorites of all time. So really stoked on that. That's a definite keeper for me. Couple more from the Vending Series. Another keeper. You know, one of my favorites of all time, Eevee. This is a Mitsuhiro Arita classic artwork. A classic, as I like to say. Definitely off center a bit there, but got the 9, 8.5 in centering, 9s across the board. Man, I love the Eeveelution so much, y'all. Just picked up the Flareon Bear Walker skateboard today to add to the wall with my Togepi. So been doing some reworking of the walls up there and putting up some art and such. Swapping some things out, because this is now basically my Pokemon room, because I am no longer working from home, or if I do, I just, you know, use my laptop. But I'm in an office all the time working with my team pretty collaboratively. So decided to transition this kind of more fully into my Pokemon room. Took my whole rig with my standing desk and everything to my office. So been, you know, rearranging some of the artwork as well. It's always fun to redecorate something fresh. So Eevee, a great one, really fun because it's just such a tiny Pokemon hanging out on top of the table. So stoked for that one. Then we have one more vending card. Oh yeah, this is a great one to end with for the vending cards. So this is Pidgey from Vending Series 1, Kasube artwork that I really, really like a lot. I just think it's, some of these vending artworks, I mean, it would be really cool to have a full set of all of these someday. Even just a binder set would be sweet. But as you can see, this is labeled Pidgeot from Vending Series 3. So this one will be making its way back to CGC for a mechanical label error. And they will take care of that for me for free. So pretty stoked about that. I mean, that they'll do it for free. Not stoked that I have to let go of it and figure out when the heck it's going to come back. But I just sent another one there too to get recased because they pressed it and it had an issue on the side. And they take care of all that for free. So they're really good about that. It's very easy to take care of. So I'm going to put that one separately because I do need to send that back. So here's our big stack for next time. I will leave y'all with 2 modern fun cards that I threw in. So got the 9.5 on the Torkle from Dream League. I absolutely love character rares. Going to be sending a bunch from VMAX Climax. We'll end up opening a little bit more and then including a ton of them in my next sub just because they're so fun and so good looking. I mean, this is really, really cool. I think character rares are some of the best Pokemon out there. And then last but not least, I believe this is the Weavile from Tag All-Stars that got a 9. So pulled this one myself. Tag Team GX is just an amazing set, and I just really, really like this card. So I decided to throw it in and get graded. 9, not what you really want to see from modern Japanese. Really want to see a 9.5 to make it really worth it. But still a cool card nonetheless. Super happy about that. So that is the first half, part 1, y'all. Really stoked to have shared these so far with y'all. I do think these Vending Series cards with this back is one of my favorite parts of the TCG or Japanese card history. I think they're just absolutely beautiful. So I will leave y'all with that one. I appreciate y'all watching. Again, it cost me about $20 each to grade these through a middleman with subgrades at the time. So these amalgamation of returns were sent to that middleman over a couple different slews. And, he was just getting slammed. So they all ended up coming back to me together. Kanto Shark, shout out, one of my favorite guys in the hobby. So really appreciate him. But yeah, this ends the cards that were at the $20 level with CGC, and then it went up to like 27, I think, if I remember. So starting to get more and more cost prohibitive, but want subgrades with everything. So that is what I, decided to stick with. So appreciate y'all very much sticking with me. I hope that y'all are learning something from this experience and noticing that, yes, I make a couple misses here and there, but my percentages are pretty good on hitting, at least that 8.5, which is pretty critical with CGC. So I do not send things in carelessly. Sometimes I just, want to send something in and test run or see how it goes or whatever, but I'm pretty methodical. I take a lot of time with my pre-grading and done okay so far. Been pretty stoked. I'm really excited to show y'all the rest of these cards next time. So appreciate y'all watching. As always, I'm Connor with Rock Pokemon. Stay tuned for part 2. And as always, collect what you love, but do it intelligently. See y'all later.